Bones, it's Blackmetalwerewolf making a brand new spooky video for you this week. And today what I would like to talk about are Halloween specials. Now you guys know how much I love a good Halloween special. During this time of the year, there's nothing I love more than sitting down on the couch and seeing what weird crazy thing my favorite TV shows have to do for the Halloween season. And I know I've done Halloween special videos in the past, but even with all that being said, there are still so many Halloween specials that need to be acknowledged. So that's what we're going to be doing today, talking about some more great Halloween specials. We may as well start off with a good one, SpongeBob SquarePants. This is an episode in the first season of SpongeBob, and really not much happens. It's essentially just SpongeBob trying to survive Halloween. He's a total wimp and gets scared by everything, and the townsfolk of Bikini Bottom are well aware of it, and they take advantage of that to scare him. SpongeBob ends up meeting the Flying Dutchman, who helps him get his revenge on all the townsfolk after they've been scaring them this whole time. I'm not going to give away the ending, even though that episode's been around for like 20 years now, but it is worth checking out if you've never seen it. Now, like I said, the storyline of that episode isn't that complex, but what I really love about this episode is how everything just screams Halloween. There are people in costumes, kids out trick-or-treating. The episode starts with SpongeBob carving a giant jack-o'-lantern in his house. Everything about it just screams Halloween, and I absolutely love it. I pretty much stopped watching SpongeBob after the first movie, so I'm not sure if they've done a lot of Halloween episodes after that, but every year I go back to the very first one, SpongeBob SquarePants, because everything about it is just great, it's cute, it's fun, it's a good Halloween time. Especially if you're a parent, you can flick it on and watch it with your kids. Next up, we have the episode Terrifying Tales of Recess from the Disney cartoon Recess. Now, Recess was one of my favorite cartoons growing up, and I still remember the first time I saw that Halloween episode. It was so badass, especially for a Disney cartoon. Now, this episode is split up into 3 different segments. The first one is Corn Chip Girl ends up eating some cursed corn chips that turn her into a werewolf, and then she tries to feed them to all the other kids at 3rd Street Elementary. Thankfully, TJ and all his friends are able to stop her. The second segment is Mikey's bicycle gets struck by lightning and comes alive and starts terrorizing the school because it was left out in the rain. That one has a pretty cool twist ending. And the final segment, which is my favorite, is Night of the Living Finsters. TJ and his friends end up finding the secret crypt underneath 3rd Street School where all of Miss Finster's ancestors are buried. They all come alive and turn to zombies and chase after the kids through the school. Another one with a great ending. That, once again, I don't want to spoil it because it's a twist ending, but if you've never seen it, definitely check it out. Another fun one to watch with your kids if you have them. The thing that I love about this is it's really reminiscent of the Simpsons Halloween specials with 3 separate stories that don't really take themselves that seriously. They take the canon of the show, put it aside, just have a little fun for Halloween. The Night of the Living Finsters is by all means the best one. The kids being attacked by zombies and how they figure out how to destroy them. Oh, it's so cool. So if you've never checked it out, definitely watch it. It's on Disney+, so it's pretty easy to find now. Let's get past the kids' cartoons and get into an adult cartoon. The Halloween episodes of South Park. So I couldn't really narrow this one down to just one Halloween episode because the early seasons had 2 really good Halloween specials. So the first one was during Kenny's embalming, they end up messing up and it turns Kenny into a zombie. And then he goes around infecting all the other people of South Park. And it's up to Stan, Kyle, and Cartman to try to save the town. If you haven't seen this episode, definitely check it out. South Park is not hard to find by any means. You could probably find most of the DVDs on Amazon. So by all means, check it out. This episode is full of blood, gore, swearing, Michael Jackson references, everything a South Park fan absolutely loves. The other South Park Halloween special is about an interdimensional portal opening in South Park, allowing everyone's evil doppelganger to come through and wreak havoc in South Park. Except, of course, for Cartman's doppelganger. The real Cartman is an evil jerk-off, so his doppelganger is actually a nice regular 8-year-old boy. The thing I love about this episode is just how funny and silly it is. There's not a lot of blood and gore like there was in the zombie episode, so this one is a bit more tame, I guess you would say, for South Park standards, but it's still just a lot of fun to watch, seeing Stan and Kyle interact with the evil Stan and Kyle. It's just a good, fun episode, and really puts you in the Halloween mood. And now that I mention it, I think there was a third Halloween special from the early seasons of South Park. I remember the band Korn makes a guest appearance, and they're like Scooby-Doo-like characters, and the boys end up having to steal a dead body to fuck with somebody. I don't remember it 100%. I'm just remembering it now. I really should have watched all of them before I did this video, but I really remember that one. And I know for South Park, for a long time, they didn't do any Halloween specials, and then they did start them up again, but I never thought they were that good, and personally, I think South Park needs to end. I think it's definitely run its course. Regardless, the early South Park Halloween specials are great. Definitely check them out if you haven't before. The next set of Halloween specials come from That 70s Show. Now, when it comes to That 70s Show, I really think the show plummeted after season 3. Like, I can barely watch any episodes season 4 and onwards, but the first 3 seasons were pretty solid and had some really fun Halloween specials. The first Halloween special of theirs has the gang going back to their old burned out elementary school where they find their old permanent records and dig up the scary, dirty secrets in their past. Even though when you look back at it, those secrets aren't that scary or dirty, I suppose for 17-year-olds in the 70s, those would have been a big deal. The things that I really love about this episode is just the scary atmosphere it actually has. All the teens hanging out in this dark, burned-out building, it's actually pretty spooky. If I were to go into a place like that, I'd be pretty scared too. Not to mention the entire episode, Fez is dressed up like Adam West's Batman, so that's always pretty funny. Also in that episode, it has a lot of flashback scenes of Red and Kitty when they were celebrating Halloween, and how Red discovers the term dumbass. So that's also pretty great. So if you haven't seen it before, that's another one to really check out. It's pretty awesome. And not to mention, the end has a pretty good jump scare if you've never seen it before too either. The second Halloween episode in That 70s Show, in my opinion, is probably the best episode in that show, period. Not just Halloween episode-wise, best episode overall. It is the Hitchcock Halloween episode. The entire episode, they make references to old Hitchcock movies. They do The Birds, Psycho, Rear View Window, Vertigo, North by Northwest, and I think there's one more in there that I can't quite remember. I could be wrong, but I think I got all the main ones covered. The main thing that I love about this episode is how much it actually got me interested in old Alfred Hitchcock movies. Because I remember watching this when I was a little kid with my older brother and my dad, and they were laughing their asses off, and I was too because it's still a funny episode, but I didn't really get all the references, and it made me want to go out and find out. I've never seen Psycho, let's go watch Psycho. I want to see The Birds, let's watch North by Northwest. So it really got me into old Alfred Hitchcock movies, not to mention just the episode in general is very funny. My favorite part is when Kelso is being chased by the plane, like in North by Northwest. Every time I see that, I absolutely die laughing. And also the Psycho reference, oh, fucking pure comedy gold. Now for the final Halloween special for this episode, it's the Season 4 episode of The X-Files. Home. Now, to be fair, when this episode was originally filmed, it was never intended to be a Halloween special. Just when they made it, Fox took it and aired it as a Halloween special. And from my knowledge, I think Fox only ever aired this episode twice. A lot of people found it very disturbing, and I think they got a lot of complaints about it. And in my opinion, rightfully so, because this episode is pretty seriously fucked up. Now for this episode, I really don't want to give away too many plot details because the more I talk about it, the more I'm just going to spoil it. And if you haven't seen it, it's one of those things you really need to watch for yourself and experience it for the first time you've ever seen it. All I will say, it does involve dead babies, incest, hillbillies, and people getting beaten to death. It is a pretty disturbing episode, especially when you consider when it was made. I can't imagine sitting down in the 90s and actually seeing this on TV. It must have been pretty damn shocking. Maybe by today's standards, some people wouldn't think it's that big of a deal, but every time I watch it, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. I actually just watched it the other night, and I still got chills when I saw it. So it is a pretty freaky episode. Not to mention, it does have a really creepy open end. I know most episodes of The X-Files do end very open-endedly, but so does this one, but it gives me the chills. Ugh, getting the chills just fucking talking about this episode. Okay, so those are all the Halloween specials I'm going to suggest to you for this episode. But now, of course, I want your guys' opinion on all of this. Have you seen these specials? And if so, what do you think of them? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? Tell me what you think. Also, tell me your favorite Halloween specials. Do you like the ones that I suggested, or are there a lot of other ones that you think are really great that other people should know about? So by all means, leave that information down in the comment section so other people can watch more great Halloween specials. And now, like my past Halloween videos, I either do a horror movie recommendation or a horror movie warning. And unfortunately, today is a warning. I went and saw Halloween Kills the other night. So I have to correct myself really quick here. I didn't see Halloween Kills, I went and saw Halloween Ends. I didn't realize I said that until I was editing this video. So I apologize, Halloween Kills isn't as bad as Halloween Ends. And it has to be one of the worst movies I have ever seen, period. The only reason I sat down and watched the entire movie is because I wanted to see the end, and in my head I was saying, okay, it's gonna get better. It can't be that bad. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. And it never did. It truly is a god-awful Halloween movie. And another reason I stayed is because I actually didn't pay for it. Thankfully, I was able to use my reward points to go see it, so I did see it for free. But had I paid for that movie, I would have gotten up out of my seat, walked to the fucking counter and said, give me my money back. This movie is fucking terrible. So I highly suggest you don't see it. Even if you are a fan of the Halloween franchise, do not waste your time. Do not waste your money. Even if you are seeing it for free, don't bother. It is fucking bad. So that's it for today's video. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of today's video, checking out some of my past videos and sharing them with a few of your friends while you're at it. If you'd like to keep up with me on a more daily basis, you can follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. I also have a PO box open. All of the info is down in the description. I also have patches for sale, so if you'd like to get your very own, you can click right over here. There's also a link down in the description. Overall, thank you very much for watching, guys, and don't forget to stay spooky.